Hi, this is Christine Villa, Creative Memories Independent Advisor, and I'm wondering if you can guess what kind of a page we're going to work on today. This is probably going to be a multi-part set of videos because I want to talk about the collection I'm using is one that is not available to purchase, and it's what I had. And I'm sure if you want to hunt and peck, you might find it, but it was a very in-demand collection. And then this is also a punch that was part of a promotion last year. We're going to be using that. And so we're going to be talking cruises today. There are different kinds of cruises around the world. There's cruises that can take you to Alaska. They can take you to the warm waters. That can take you to the Mediterranean. It can take you to the South Pacific. There are cruises in all the oceans. And this collection, Seas Please, was created, and it's very like Alaska, or I would say Antarctic. Some of the papers in here have moose and trees. That screams Alaska to me. And then trees and plaids. And then this one, which is really a fun paper. It has bears on the back side. Screams Alaska. Nature, icebergs, glaciers, wilderness, outdoors, majestic. These are just some of the words on here. So I will probably do a different cruise page for that. But then there's these deep water fish, which could be Alaska. You could maybe push it for some of the other oceans. And the sticker pack with it has got a lot of sea life that's related to Alaska. So one of the things we are going to be using this paper today. So I first want to talk about options. So we have several different paper packs that have a wood grain in them. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get some of this fall de merle out of here. And this wood grain, there's different color tones, different patterns. I particularly like this one. It's in this pack, but there are others that would probably do just as well, or you can choose a different paper for this. Then the other thing is I am probably going to use some fish here. And then this is like the only piece I have left of this. So this to me it could be a New England cruise. It could be a Mediterranean cruise. And this water, this is such a pretty, pretty paper. I'd like to see this come back in another collection. Anyway, so this is going to be a one-page spread, but it's going to work like a two-pager because we are going to use the 6x12 peekaboo pockets. And I'm not sure what's going to be the background page right now, but this page is going to go, I'm going to cut it in half after I cut a circle in it. This is going to be like a porthole right here. And when you open it up, I think the title and the location of the cruise, to me, this is like a title page that introduces the cruise. So whatever your cruise is, this would be a neutral beginning. And what I envision, and I don't have any cruise photos to do right now, but I might go take a photograph of one of my other cruise albums, is, there's the picture of the ship, or that you can get, or there's pictures of you by the ship. One of those would be a really great opening. Now you could do an oval, but most traditional portholes are round. So I'm thinking you've got a 5x7, possibly even an 8x10. And when you open it up, you're going to open it up and there'll be the insides. So since I'm gonna do something more in the warmer waters, this plaid won't work for that, so this will get covered. Not sure how we're gonna do that yet, so I thought we'd get through step 1 first. And some suggestions for other collections that you could incorporate with this. And one of them is the New by the Seashore. There are some pages in there that would be perfect for this, especially for a warmer water cruise. And the sticker collection with this, I'm trying to find where I have it. I actually have a couple sets of this because we have a really great aquarium in Atlanta here in Georgia, and I've spent a lot of time going to the aquarium with my grandchildren. And these are the stickers that are in it. So there's glacial mountains, there's iceberg. So I think there's some laser borders somewhere. I have no idea what I did with it. Anyway, so there's a lot of other options that you have. Oh, there's another ice floe. There are other options and how you can use these, and it requires just thinking a little bit more about what you want to represent. So this will be like a title page or introducing a cruise is what we're going to do. And then other paper options for the tones. We do have coastal scenes is an option. There are whatever color grouping that you want to do. I'm also, I pulled some coordinating for the blue, and this is the cornflower blue molten lava. And for part of the porthole, we're going to be using, this is the canary molten lava. You think from a distance it looks the same as gold, but the gold molten lava is much darker in tone than this. And I want this to have more of a brass look. You can see how these two sheets would work together. All right. We're going to move all these other papers out of the way. And the first thing we're going to do is plan out this. Oh yeah, here's the back side of that. I love that. I love that sheet. I think we may end up using, I've also pulled in this blue because I'm thinking of somehow incorporating this, either a 2-inch border, or this is 4 inches. I already had this pre-cut, or I would be using it as a 12-inch piece cut in half in 6. We are going to do the cutting in half to the 6 by 12 after we cut our circle. I also have a lineup of potential warm water punches here. Some of them are available to purchase currently. All right, so this is the largest circle in that pattern grouping, and I am going to, I don't often use these templates, but this is really a good way to figure out sizing. And when you have limited papers available to you and you don't want to keep buying papers, this is a great way to start. We're also going to use the alignment ruler because I am going to make a light. This is the back side. So I'm going to make a pencil mark. And this is going to help me line up and center the circle pattern, because I want it in a very specific spot. I'm all about going by the seat of my pants. However, I want to have less on top than I do on the bottom. So that's a pretty good size portal. So if we do an inch down from the top, I think what I'm going to do is do an inch marking. I really do like this alignment ruler. Okay, and I'm just going to mark this right at this point, because that's where I know I want to line the thing up. All right, so accounting for cutting, I'm using the little foot grippers. It's not really feet, they're grippers. I'm aligning that, and I want to cut this. I'm going to actually go down a little bit more with the red blade, because I'm going to want to make a ring out of the canary. So if you're a righty, you might want to start at 10 o'clock. I find starting at 2 o'clock approximately is the best for me. Right, and we're going to save that. We can save that for something. There's always something. So now we are going to cut this down the middle with a trusty 12-inch trimmer. And this we're going to line up at 6 inches. There we go. So now we have our 2 halves. Are you catching it? Catching the vision? So it'll look, it's one of these. I'm not going to put it in yet because we have more work to do on it. So it's going to look like that. Now you could leave this blank like that, but just to see if it would work, we're going to cut a ring. I'm going to set these aside. We're going to use the same pattern piece. And for me, it's this molten lava. The foiling is a little different. And I want to be able to maximize the use of this piece. And I think I like the slightly, I think I like this corner. And we are first, the famous rule, you always cut blue first. And when you look at the different cutting blades, you can see the difference between the red and the blue gap. And that indicates how far away the blade is going to cut from the edge, from the tracking area. And so whether you're cutting on the inside or the outside, and you're going to be using another blade on that same piece of paper, you always cut blue first. So when this first came out, it had a stationary blade, and now it has a curving blade. And sometimes even I trip myself up of trying to do the work for the blade. And if you hold your wrist consistent, that allows the little feet, the blade and everything to rotate for you, so you don't give yourself wrist issues. So I want 1/4 inch, so I'm now going to cut with the yellow blade, the red blade on the canary yellow. So before I lift it up, I want to make sure that it is completely disconnected, and we will save that. So we are going to put this in here. We are going to pull in. Now another option you have is waiting to cut this in half until after you have applied the ring. And I'm thinking at this point that would have been the smarter idea. So I'm going to line these two up and see if I like the looks of this. Oh, I think I do. I think I like that. So I'm going to get this template. But one of the things you can do is you'll know that cutting with the blue blade is 6.5 inches and the red is 6 inches. So if you're going to use a 5x7 photo, you're going to have to probably size it up. I think an 8x10 would be great. And sometimes on a cruise, we decide not to get the cruise photos. And let me tell you, I always have regretted that decision. So yeah, it can be a little more expensive, but I vote for getting it. All right, so let's put some adhesive on here. I am using repositionable in my jumbo tape runner. Green, that's your clue. And I don't think I should have to realign this. My guys just came home, so I have to do the whole hush thing. Hi, John. He's learned when I'm talking to myself in here that I'm probably recording. Such is family life. So one of these days, I am going to share my studio space with you. Right now, I have so much stuff crammed into this little space. I think when I start the move, which I think I might do later this month. Oh, come on. Oh, for Pete's sake. Let's put a little bit on here. Let's see here. No, that is not perfect. Yeah, yesterday I was saying done is better than perfect, and sometimes you need to line it up the very best you can. There we go. Okay. Get a couple of these areas lined up. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh. And that looks good. And so I want to get this off of here before I get more things sticking to it. I can see I've got to do a clean on here. And because it's so tiny, I am just going to take a little snip. So my suggestion is do not do the cutting apart part until after you have your ring on. Alrighty. Oh, great. Shaky, shaky, baby. All right, we have more to add to this. Hold on a second, I gotta shut my door. So it's gonna go in cut side first. And that's why I think on the back side, I think I'm going to use some cardstock. And I didn't want to adhere them together because then it is a little trickier to get the right pressure. And although it would be easier now if you're using two prints or you like the print on both sides, we'll pretend this is our album page. And where's that other one? this will work on both top loading and the traditional page. On the top loading, you would be adhering this peekaboo pocket to the outside, and on the traditional one, you would adhere it to the page and with the jeeping. So there we go. This is what it's going to look like on the outside, and you can see how if your main photo is in there. And I'll show you that the opening is it's 5 7/8. So to have a photo underneath, the width of it, you want it to be at least 6 3/8. And that way it will cover the edges. So if you can print 8x10s, or you can print something bigger than a 5x7, or a square that is 7x7, that would be a perfect photo for underneath there. Now you could go to a smaller circle. You could do the outside of the medium size blade, and that would give you a 5-inch to a 5-inch photo, and then the ring would be 5.5 inches. Even with a 5x7, you're going to want a little bit more room on that in order to make it fit properly. All right, there's part 1.